Hi guys, so today we are going to make a resin piece. So I made this mold yesterday, casted it myself. I used this mold maker that I got from Michael's. I've used it before. It's part A, part B. You measure it out by volume. I've never had an issue with it before. I find it works pretty good. Makes a pretty solid silicone mold. So this is a little dog mold inside there. Unfortunately, getting the piece out that I used to mold broke, so I can't show you what it looks like prior to us making it out of resin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all my stuff together. I'm going to get the resin together, get my gloves on, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I put together 60 milliliters of resin. So we're going to, give it a good stir, scraping the sides. Always scrape your sides. Don't want to go too fast because you don't want to introduce too many bubbles to it. So stir it until you can't see anymore and it's crystal clear. So we'll just keep stirring and keep scraping the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you guys for a second and I'm finished stirring this up, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so I've got my resin all mixed up. Just letting this sit here in the gas for a little bit. I'm going to get some of them bubbles out that I introduced. You can use, a long neck lighter to reach down in there. I know it looks a little cloudy, but that's because the glass that I'm using is actually cloudy. So it's very hard to see what it actually looks like. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use 1 or 2 drops of violet from this Let's Resin. I got this 16 color kit of Let's Resin dye from Amazon. I've had it for quite a while now, and it lasts a long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in. Just give it a good shake. And I also, what I did too was, because this is the first time I've used this mold, I sprayed some mold release in there just to be on the safe side. So, like I said, we're going to just do 1 or 2 drops for right now. So, 1, 2. And just, I don't want it too dark. I just kind of want it somewhat light colored. Might put a little bit more in. It's still kind of too light for me. So what we do is you can barely see it. There's a slight purple. So we'll put 2 more in. 1, 2. That might be enough. Yeah, that looks good. So if you want to test your color to see what it's going to look like, you can always grab a paper towel and wipe it on the paper towel, and that way you'll get a general idea of how dark the color is and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is grab a towel and just give it a little wipe and see what it looks like. So it's very light purple. So that's what we're going to go with. Just give it a couple stirs, scraping the sides, scraping the bottom. So like I said, you just want to keep scraping the sides and scraping the bottom. Mix it slow because you don't want, to introduce any more bubbles than you have to. What we'll do is we'll wipe off the stick here. I like to reuse my sticks here. Let's put that off to the side. Let's grab our mold here. Put this away. We don't need this no more. Make sure you put your caps back on because the alcohol inks will dry out. You don't want to do that. You don't want to waste it. So these cups are a little different than the normal cups I use. Normally I use plastic cups where I can squish the edge, but I don't have any of those right now. So we'll just pour this in real slow. Make sure we just get all the nooks and crannies and all the little spots that are in there. Just keep pouring. What I'm going to do is just give it a twirl like this just to make sure that I got where his ears are. And just slowly pour the rest in. What I'm going to do is grab my stick, scrape the cup, get every last little bit out. Sorry guys that you're not in the frame, give me a second. Just scraping out the cup, getting every last little drop of resin out, don't want to waste any. Alright, and then what I do is I squish the stick onto my cup here and just let it sit and dry, because that way when it's dry it's easier to peel the resin out of the cup and reuse it. It's just, you know, give it a couple little taps. You'll see the bubbles are rising. Just want to squish it around a little bit, make sure that, you know, the resin's down inside those little cracks. And grab your long neck lighter. Like Steve says, long neck lighter, never a torch. Just give a little once over. I kind of want some bubbles inside, so I'm not really worrying about it having bubbles. So some people don't like bubbles, but I do want the bubbles in this one because I want to have the kind of mysterious look on the inside when I put it on a light. So what we'll do is just put this off to the side and let it dry, and then we'll be back in 24 hours to demold. So see you guys then. Hi guys, we're back. So this is nice and solid. It's set for 24 hours. So this is my first attempt with this mold. I made this mold the other day, so I have no idea what this is going to look like or how it's going to turn out. So let's see if we can get it out. Alright, so let's see if we can get this guy out. There we go. Got a lot of air pockets in him, but for the most part, he turned out pretty good for our first attempt at making our own mold and making our own piece. So, I mean, he's not that bad. I mean, the detail is there in the mold, which is cool. I mean, there's a lot of air bubbles in them, but that could have been just the way that I mixed the resin, you know, just didn't let it sit long enough to degas. But for the most part, you know, I like the way it turned out. I mean, I used a light purple in there. So we'll try it again. Use a different color. Let it sit a little longer, you know, to get some of the air pockets out. I don't have a pressure pot to take the air out yet. That's something that I'll get in the future. But for now, I just have to let it sit and degas. And yeah, but for the most part, that is what it looked like prior to me making the mold. Just a little tiny dog. So let me zoom in on him for you. So I want to thank all my members. Please like, share, and follow. I want to thank everybody that's bought me a coffee. You know, without you guys, none of this would be possible. So I'll see you for the next one. See you, bye.